This is the Gainin Fast on Memphis podcast with Aaron Shriver. Aaron is a huge fan of country music star Eric Church and is a member of his fan base, the Church Choir. Aaron has attended and continues to attend as many shows as possible, and along the way, he meets some incredible people. Each week, he'll introduce you to a fellow choir member, and together, they will share their awesome stories and life adventures. It's time to meet one of them right now. Ladies and gentlemen, here's your host and choir director for the Gainin Fast on Memphis podcast, Aaron Shriver.
How is it going tonight, everybody? I'm excited for this one. I've been excited. I've been waiting for this one for a while. We've just been chatting for the last couple of minutes. I was a little late coming on. I'm sorry. They're chilling down. Well, they were chilling down the lobby. They'll be back, I'm sure. I'll get back in. So how you guys doing? Mark, I see we got 5 spots left in the Super Bowl square. You guys grab those as quick as you can. Only 5 left. The big game is, this Sunday already? This is crazy. Who are you guys rooting for? Drop it in the chat. I want to see who you guys are rooting for. So, yeah. I want to see. That way I know you guys are there watching and hanging out. So, while you guys are dropping on who you guys are going to root for in the Super Bowl this week, I need to give a shout out to Arlo Revolution. You guys saw his intro video again. It's just amazing stuff that he is doing over there in the land of video production and everything that he will do. Just reach out to him if you guys are looking for anything real estate, just some cool stuff. Go check out his videos. Rooting for your bets, huh, Johnson? So then my 2 on-screen sponsors, Art on a Higher Wire by Joelle and Janet Stolth Creative. We love what you guys are doing, and thank you for being part of it. I still got 2 spots left for on-screen sponsors. If you guys are looking into that or want to look into that, pretty cheap. Just come on out. Get a shout out every show. It's going to be a good thing. So reach out on my Patreon. Thanks again for everybody that is on Patreon and supports us in any way you guys can. It's awesome. Still waiting for our guys to come back. So while we're doing that, we're just going to hang out for a minute. I can see it now. She's probably yelling at Bill, be like, dude, what are you doing? Where are you hitting? Where are you pressing stuff? Let me send him a link again. So, but yeah, once again, if you guys are on any of the streaming sites, thanks again for listening over there. I can't believe we got over and we got on iHeart now. So it was pretty cool to find out this last week that we were on iHeart. Oh, they're back now. All right. We lost you guys for a minute. I'll get you guys on. But people were asking me in different ways that they could come on and support the show. And if Patreon's not a way that you guys can do to support the show, go to YouTube and subscribe. I know there's a couple things on YouTube I'm trying to do. I got to have 100 subscribers before I can actually have my own YouTube link and everything. So if you guys have a YouTube, look the show up on there. If you have Apple Podcasts, go on there and leave a short review, 5 stars. Anything you can do like that helps the show. So they always say, what is it? Like, subscribe, share, whatever you guys can do. Let's get people out there listening, because starting next week, things are going to start changing a little bit. And I want to start challenging myself. And it's fun having conversations with the choir and catching up with all my friends, and like we're gonna do tonight. We got some really good stories that we're gonna be sharing tonight. I can't wait. But I want to challenge myself and go a little further. So you're gonna see at the end of the show, I got a cool little announcement of something we're gonna start doing once a month, and I can't wait to announce that. So if you guys are ready, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and jump on and bring these guys on. If you guys are ready, I got some cool stuff I'm planning tonight too. So I hope they got some stuff. Johnson, just a little bit. I'm going to throw a little curveball here and there. I'm going to let some people give me a little bit in feedback too on maybe different guests they want to see, because I want to bring on a different guests and get you guys to meet other people that may not be connected with Eric Church in different ways. So you'll see at the end of the show. We'll talk a little bit more about it. So we're going to go ahead on bring our guest of honors on tonight. So I know they were having some difficulties earlier. They wanted to use the laptop, but hey, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Nice glasses. When it calls me to leave, child, my happy home. What is going on, guys? How you guys doing?
Hey, that's how to get the night started right there.
Oh, I'm telling you, you have to do it that way. There's no other way. So you guys nervous? You guys ready?
You, by the way.
Yeah, we still can't see you.
What if I do this? Can you see that picture?
Yes, I can.
Well, I'm sorry, man. I mean, at
It's
least you can
okay.
see.
Let's roll with it.
Yeah, at least you can see pictures. I mean, you don't need to see me anyways. No one needs to see me. And Johnson's already. Well, hold on. You can see the comments, right?
Yes. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Oh,
Nice
boy.
glass too. I feel like I'm cheating. I just got water in this cup. Eric wanted to
Yeah,
prove it.
that's
It's
totally
okay.
cheating.
It's okay.
But you're forgiven in this instance.
Yeah, I'm 28 days in. Like I said, my goal's 100, and I'm gonna have. We'll see. I'll have a drink after 100.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
I would be upset with you if you broke it at this point.
cheers
I just
involves any liquid.
I want to see if I could just do it. I'm like, I just wanted to see if I could do it for myself. I'm like, hey, why not? Right? Yes, Michelle, these two of my favorite people. That's why we're gonna jump into this and just have a good time. And man, I don't even know where to start with you guys because we have so many stories, and I'm glad we have 90 minutes tonight. But where does your story start for you? What song or what came across Eric Church for you guys that brought you guys around?
Let the lady go first.
Well, my first one on the radio was Homeboy, but I wasn't crazy about it. And
Okay.
then Love You
That's
Love
everybody-
Most,
Oh.
I was like totally head over heels. But it took me until Outsiders to actually see him live for the first time. And this one was supposed to go and backed out at the last second.
Yep.
Oh,
And yeah. And then the next time I saw him was with my girls, and so he couldn't go because it was girls' night. And then he announced the Ascend shows right after that, and I was like, "Look, you want to go to Nashville? You can go. You can see. You can understand why I'm like totally in it now." And he says, "Well, okay." Like I was
Yeah.
pulling his arm to make him go, but
It was a fun trip.
then
so were
he
you
was
just not into country music at all, Bill, or what? Why
Uh,
didn't you?
I was more classical, Foreigner 38 special, Foreigner,
Southern rock.
AC/DC, yeah, rock. But it was dying. I mean, it had been dying for years.
Oh, I agree.
So when I went and saw Eric at Ascend, it was just, I mean, his energy, the passion you could feel, and just, I mean, the people we were around that night was hilarious. We had this one guy behind us. We don't know where he is from, but it was the first time he played 3-year-old.
Yeah.
And and he was like, shh, shh, everybody, hush, hush, right before he started. And it was just funny. Of course, I was buying beers for everybody around us too, which helped the mood. So, but it was a blast.
That.
It was so much fun that we scalped tickets the next night and went.
What do you think was better, the first night or the second night?
Probably the first night, just because the initial, shock of the performance. So,
see, I think second night because of Ryan Bingham.
but
He was good.
Yes, very.
yeah, so it was a blast. And then I think the next show was in Raleigh at the American Roots Festival.
Okay.
And that's where the meet and greet is that's up right now.
He played 2 nights there, right? Friday and Saturday night?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was an amazing weekend. That was like the best festival ever. Literally ever.
I was like a 26-year-old. I stayed drunk the entire night or entire weekend. And Chris Stapleton was there. It was right before he went real big. And I think I was the only person.
Willie Nelson.
Yeah, Willie Nelson. Sheryl Crow.
Trombone Shorty. Like so many people. It was like, it was good.
It was cold. I mean, even Eric stopped playing on the stage and was like, whew, and, blew his fingers because it was like
So it was
degrees.
Outdoors in North Carolina. What time of the year was it?
It was October. So it shouldn't have been nearly as cold as it was. Yeah, it was way out of season for it to be that cold.
Oh, that's the meet and greet right before Chris Stapleton went big too.
So, but it was a kind of that was kind of a wide range of genre music, right? It wasn't just country.
Yes.
You had a couple. There was a couple other like outside the country genre on that same bill, wasn't there?
Yes, like Trombone Shorty. We had never heard of him before that weekend, and we were like, "Who is this dude?" Because he was that like you couldn't watch him and not just stop and look at the stage and be like, "Holy shit!"
He was jamming
because because he was so good. So and then we were disappointed in the Roots. Was it the Roots?
Yes,
the Roots.
It was the Roots. They were terrible.
I was so excited to see them, and I was so let down.
The band that supports one of the night show hosts.
I don't think they're on anymore.
But they used to support one of the night show hosts.
Was Fallon for a while?
Yeah, maybe Jimmy Fallon. Yeah,
maybe.
Fallon, but they were just terrible. I mean,
they played like Pac-Man. Aren't they the ones that play the Pac-Man music? Somebody played Pac-Man music. Like the Pac-Man, you know, when Pac-Man's going and it's that music, they literally play that.
See, like if Eric does stadiums and goes to like more of a stadium tour, I would love to see it be like a Roots tour where he would take like not just country acts, like he would take like the bands you would see at the Roots Festival, and maybe people you never would have listened to before, but people he listens to and brings them along with. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Down the road.
Yeah, because they all have that kind of common vibe between them. So.
I agree. So after that was after the Outsiders tour, it kind of just got hooked, huh? Bill, you're on for the ride at this point?
Yeah, well.
He was at first. Now.
You know, I'm there to support my wife.
Yeah, okay.
And
tell me.
I'm security. I'm security for her.
So that's why you run so fast to the pit.
Exactly.
She needs something to lean against.
That is
true, but
she to help her back. She prefers something to lean on, and I just can't.
The only reason you run so fast, I'm sure.
He's a fast runner. Have you guys ever seen him run?
For a big guy, he can book it when he needs to book it. No.
Yeah.
I don't know that gorge run, man. I almost fell down the hill. That'll probably come up later.
Oh God! Well, yeah.
Shortly after that,
yeah.
You guys did Red Rock shortly after that, or when did you guys really start traveling to see Eric?
It actually started pretty quick, like right after Nashville, because after Ascend, it wasn't too incredibly long. And then it was the American Roots. And then right after American Roots, they announced the joint show. I think it was the joint shows right after that, if I remember.
Yeah, okay.
And I was like, damn, that'd be cool to go see him in like such a tiny little place like that, as opposed to, you know, like Greensboro Coliseum and places and PNC Arena and all that here. And he was like, well, Vegas, let's do it. And those ended up being still to this day some of my top shows. Like that was such a great venue. It
was before we knew anybody, and I think CJ
has a video.
CJ posted a video, and I'm right in front of CJ, and then Scott Staples is sort of off to the left of us, and we were like within 3 or 4 people around each other.
Nice.
Yeah, and we had no idea. Oh, there you go.
CJ. Yeah.
Yeah, he said, you're all right in front of him. Didn't even know it.
Yep.
I wish I would have been there.
Those were great shows. Like, I stalk in that place. He needs to go back. I love it.
Shortly after I think Jackson was born, or right around the Outsiders, is kind of where I just kind of took a break for a couple of years and just slowed down on shows. And I know The Joint is one of the shows I missed. I kind of still kick myself for.
Yeah, it was fun. And it was like, and it sounds horrible, but it was such a good deal because it was in the Hard Rock Hotel there. And so if you bought tickets and got a room, the room was like $35 for the night. And it was like right in the same venue. I was like, yeah, we'll take that deal. So you couldn't beat it. Yeah, it was amazing.
I'm jealous of that now.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that was what totally made it. It was like, are you kidding me? Of course, there's resort fees and crap on top of that, but still not enough to make up for the difference in price. But yeah, that was when it started. We started traveling real soon.
Yeah, we've seen. Of course, she's seen 4 more shows than I have, but I think I'm at 33. I think, and she's around 37,
Yeah, something
I
like that.
think. So
You
we've
need to
seen a
catch
lot
up now.
Do what now?
So you got to catch up now. Now we got to have the boys' weekend. She had the girls' weekend.
Yeah.
Well-
Good luck with that one.
Boys' weekend.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, Bill, you took that picture too. The one with Anthony and all the girls. Isn't that the one you took? That's in Chicago.
Yeah,
Chicago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was Chicago.
yeah, that's a story. Good grief.
That was second night in Chicago.
Yeah, but I was
So-
sick after that, so
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That
you
was
did
right
get sick. I forgot. That's when you ended up in the hospital right after that.
I was in the hospital for 5 days after that.
Yeah, you and I, well, you got it way worse than I did, but you and I both got pretty sick right after that trip.
Yeah.
That whole weekend was, because you'd have really bad weather, and then it was like cold and really warm, and it was just nasty.
Yeah, like a bunch of people, because Derek got sick.
Mhm.
Some, like, literally almost 2/3 of the people that everybody was around ended up getting, like, really seriously sick. Not just like, oh, I have a cough, but like, I'm going to the
We all
hospital because I'm dying sick. Yeah.
Well, that was like the following weekend was Milwaukee, and it was what, night 2 in Milwaukee. I collapsed during one of the songs, and
Yeah.
just
Oh, yes.
That
Yeah,
was
I remember,
right after
I remember
that.
you
You're
saying
right.
that. Yep.
Yeah.
a week after, and then like I didn't know that it was called a vasovagal or whatever. Jillian freaked out. She was next to me. I was out for like a couple seconds, came back. I'm like, I'm fine. Like, I wasn't drinking or anything, so I didn't know what was going on. And I followed up with my doctor. I had pneumonia, so I never even knew it. So I'm like, okay, I did not know this. So then they're worried about my lungs, but it was the pneumonia in my lungs too. I was just like, this is crazy. We all got sick because there's like 5 or 6 of us I know.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
bad.
yeah.
It was really bad. It was fun,
I'm pretty sure
but it was bad.
I'm pretty sure that's the same show they talk about.
Yeah.
She's got to do a refill.
Oh yeah. People did miss Milwaukee because Chicago got him so sick. I think Sheena was real sick after that. There's a bunch of us. Jess.
Yeah. I feel like
So
literally everybody that was in the pit first night ended up sick as hell.
Yeah, we were dropping like flies one by one.
Yeah, it was bad.
You guys didn't go to Milwaukee, did you? After that?
No. After Chicago, we had a break.
Yeah, until Greenville, South Carolina, I think, was next after that. I think Greenville was after that.
That's right
That was the boys,
outside your house. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I took that one right when we were all getting ready to leave to head back over, and a couple people were staying, and CJ and then we just got there. That's one of my favorite pictures of the guys.
Yeah. Good group of crew there.
I mean, I'm glad that I'm hoping she walked back to in Rosemont, not Chicago. That would suck, but hey, it's Chicago for you. I mean, it's all right if you stay in daylight sometimes, but we'll see about that.
Did we tell you what happened after we left that what was that place?
Oh,
what night was
you know the
choir party night?
The choir party night in Chicago at the little bar.
Carol. Yeah,
yes.
We left there and wasn't even
it was
block
away.
Maybe
2 blocks.
It was across the street. We went to CVS or a Walgreens or one of those things. And were we walking in or getting ready to walk out?
We were leaving.
Yeah, we were leaving. And
the lady manager was standing there, and Bill got like milk and I don't know, some munchy crap basically. And so we were leaving, and the lady manager of the place comes up to me and she's like, "Watch your back." And I was like, "The hell?"
Like, watch yourself.
What is going on? So we like booked it straight to the car and booked it home. I was like, "Where the hell is everyone taking us?" Yeah, it was a little freaky.
Really?
Yeah.
From Carol's either. That's funny.
Yeah. I was like, what in the world? And there was only like one other guy, maybe even in the store that I saw. It wasn't
there
like
wasn't many people
it was
in the
anything.
Store.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
It was funny though. We were like, really? You know?
Welcome to Chicago. I'm telling you.
That's what I thought. I was like, oh well.
Carroll's is supposed to be a somewhat decent area. I mean, it's not too bad. I mean, Wrigleyville is not too bad, but it's still Chicago. That's where we went after Carroll's. We took the bus and went to Wrigleyville. We went and got a group photo outside Wrigley Field that night.
Yeah. I wanted to go, and I wanted to go to the bar too. What?
The
We didn't go to the bar anywhere.
No,
Yeah, we just
yeah, that was a different night. I
we
think.
went to the bar Friday night. We went to Chief was playing outside Joe's or at Joe's Live after the concert Friday night. I think that's where we went. I'm not too sure. I
Yeah.
don't remember.
I think that's the one you were talking about going to, and I was just like, I
Yeah.
just can't.
And hey, that was a blast there. That's a story in itself. The whole trip. I mean,
Well, we gotta hear this then. We gotta hear this Red Rocks trip. So was this your first big trip going anywhere to see Eric, or was it just? I mean, you went from
Well,
North
it was
Carolina.
after the joint, but this was like bucket list. Like Red Rocks had been bucket list forever, and when I saw he was playing there, I was like, oh my god, we got to make it happen. And we made it happen, but getting there on time was a whole other story. We barely made it.
Oh my gosh. This is going to take a few minutes. Anyway,
we got some time.
We woke up at like 4:30 in the morning, to get up, to get to the airport, not clock in, but get scanned.
The day before the show.
This is the day before the show.
Because I'm OCD, so we always go everywhere the day before in case we have issues. An example why.
So we get to the airport, and for anybody that went to the concert that weekend, we were lucky enough to be on the day that Delta's servers completely went down.
I remember that happening.
It was horrible.
We flew into Atlanta and was on the tarmac for an hour. While we were on the tarmac for an hour, our connecting flight left. We were stuck in Atlanta, and they kept stringing us along to 6 or 7 different gates. Finally, they were like, you're leaving in 30 minutes, and this was 10:30 at night. We were supposed to be in Colorado.
We were supposed to have already been there at noon that same day.
At noon their time. This was like at 10:30 at night, and they're like, okay, your flight is at this gate. You'll be leaving in 35 minutes. 15 minutes before the flight, they come on, and they're like, your crew's timed out. This is the last flight. There is no other flight for you. Sorry.
Oh.
Go wait in a half a mile line with 500,000 people waiting to do stuff also.
Well, they told us that after we called. So you basically just get ushered away from the gate, and then you wait on the phone forever for them to come on and say, we have no idea when we can ever get you to where it is that you're trying to go. And that was when I cried uncle. And bought tickets through Southwest to get us there from Atlanta.
We ended up getting a hotel room for about 2 hours. Took a 45-minute nap maybe, and took a shower. And went right back to the airport to try to get our luggage, which you cannot do. So
don't even try. If your flight ever has like getting canceled or whatever, and they've already taken your luggage, don't try.
Yeah.
It's going to end up wherever you were supposed to be way before you ever get there.
Right.
Yeah, it was insane.
We flew Southwest the next morning, arrived at the airport at right at 9 o'clock or so, and had to wait an hour for one of our luggages. I forgot which one it was.
Yours. They had them mistagged. It was yours.
But then we left, and we're driving to the airport, and
to the hotel.
To the hotel, and she called the hotel to confirm. She called the night before to confirm what was happening and letting them know we were still coming.
And told them they could even charge me for that night if they needed to. We just needed somewhere to be when we got there.
So she calls the hotel, and they're like, "Oh no, your room was canceled," and so we went to the hotel and lounged in the lobby for about an hour, and I was like, you know what?
They cleaned a room for us.
I was like, while we're waiting, I'm going to go do the grocery store stuff, the liquor store, and come back. So about that time, we got a room, and then we had to turn around twice and go meet a lady for our tickets.
Which is what the hurry was, because we
Yeah.
had enough time once we got there to be able to like chill in the parking lot for a
Oh,
bit
yeah.
and have a drink. But like we needed to make sure we were meeting this lady because we had emailed, and that is actually, I didn't even think about that, how me and Matthew Hardy very first connected, because this lady had posted on the Way Old School, well, I shouldn't say Way Old School for you, Aaron, not Way Old School, but for what it is now, the Old School church page about tickets for Red Rocks, and a couple of us had replied, and she had emailed us back and had initially told me, yes, you're good, and then next thing I knew, she was saying, no, I don't have one, but I have some other tickets for the same night for this place. And I was like, and Matthew had put his email in the comments along with another lady, and so I went uncharacteristically bold for what I would normally do and emailed him and was just like, hey, I'm not a crazy stalker, but I saw this and I just want to make sure we're not both getting ripped off, because I was afraid that he and I were both paying for the same tickets. And so he had emailed back and was like, no, and we kind of communicated that way. And then right after American Roots is when we finally met face to face. But that was how we very first initially connected. And come to find out, the lady was totally legit. And we got there and she had awesome tickets for us. And it ended up being a great weekend. But getting there was a bit of a fiasco, to put it mildly. Yes.
Man, that sounds like, it sounds a lot like me trying to get out of Greenville, North Carolina.
That's what I was thinking of when you were telling that story. Yeah, I was like, it sounds the same thing.
Yeah, because we almost rented a car that day and went home. So I would have drove it. But from Atlanta to Red Rocks, that would have been a little bit, yeah.
Shoot, as long as it took us to get there, we could have driven it. I told him, I said we could have got a rental car and drove as long as it took us to get there.
Yep. Man, that is a crazy story, though.
It was totally worth it, though. Everybody always is like, oh my God, was it worth it? And I'm like, yes. Every second. Number one show. Like, first night, Red Rocks, number one show, hands down, no questions asked.
Well, I hope you got refunded from your original plane ticket.
I did. It took me months, literally months of fighting with them. And I ended up getting every penny back for that whole flight. So it was worth me for once, like standing my ground and being like, no, I'm not going to pay for this shit. Y'all messed up our whole week. So
that was that picture right there. The picture right there with me in the poncho is in Greenville, South Carolina. And that's the first time that we met Taylor, that crew, and Sheena
and Paige and Nick.
Do what now?
The Holding My Own tour?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I just now realized your shirt. That's hilarious.
Thanks to Mandy for that.
Yes, Mandy.
Hilarious. I just now realized that. Oh my God, that is funny. I looked up, I'm like, oh, I've been looking at my screen and uploading photos. I'm like, wait, what is he on his shirt?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you had to pick, I mean, it's kind of hard, but if you had to pick like Holding My Own or Double Down, what would you want to see him do again? If he did anything again, like how would you, or what would you want to see? Like, where does he go? Where do you want to see him go?
Like, I think Holding My Own and Double Down are so totally different. I mean, they were the same, but they were different, because Double Down, you could go and know you were going to get 2 nights in. But Holding My Own was the first time that really he had done something like that.
Yeah.
And so you went in with that, like, what's going to happen? And so that anticipation is nice to have, but at the same point, it's nice to not have openers and be able to go and have him the whole time. So selfishly, I'm hoping he keeps doing that.
I was wondering how he's going to top himself. I mean, really, the Hold My Own tour was phenomenal, and just, you know, having him the entire show was awesome. And I was like, man, he's not going to be able to beat this. What is he going to be able to do? And he came out with this and the Double Down, and I was like, shit. I was like, I mean, yeah, it was heaven. I wish he'd do it again because it was awesome.
The Double Down, you say?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I think it exhausted him in a
Yeah,
way.
it's a lot.
Oh yeah.
I think he
Yeah.
went into it thinking it was going to be easier on him than Holding My Own because they did more shows during the week on Holding My Own. But I think because it was more, I hate to say condensed because it was still the same amount of time, but I think because he knew there was less shows, he gave even more every single show, if that makes sense.
He
And
did.
it was
I
more on him almost physically than Holding My Own. I don't know. But I just feel like it was a lot on him and the band.
Well, he shouldn't have extended
It wasn't
the tour.
any less than Holding My Own
Even
was,
though I
I
enjoyed
think.
DC.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it wasn't any less on him physically than Holding My Own was when he talked about how exhausting Holding My Own was.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. And that's why it's like I know he's probably gonna. I know he tested the waters in Nashville stadiums, and I mean, some people hope he does, some people doesn't. But like, and like everybody's like, where does he go from here? I'm like, it has to be stadiums, but does he bring openers back out? Like, what do you guys say? Where do you guys want to see him next tour or something?
What I want and what I think will actually happen are two totally different things. What I want is him to stay in the smaller places so you still continue to get that feel when you go in of it being like one-on-one. But I think in order for him to continue to grow, he's got to kind of step out into the stadium some. And I think he sort of proved in Nashville that he can make even a stadium feel like you're the only one there for that moment when you're in the music and paying attention to what's going on as opposed to, 50 million other people around you.
That was one reason why I wanted to sit so far back is because I wanted to see. I mean, was he able to still get me involved all the way that far away?
Yes.
Like, but I
Yeah.
feel like, and I feel like he did. I mean, he the way he worked the stage and worked around, and he still got everybody as far away, just singing and dancing and having a blast.
Yeah. I was really torn that weekend for did I want to sit up high? Did I want to be in the pit? And we actually had tickets for both. And I was just kind of like, as it gets closer, we'll play it by ear and we'll decide because it's not like the ones that were up high were like super expensive or anything. And like it got closer to the time and I was just like, yeah, I just want to be down there. Like I know it might be miserable once we get in there and there's 50 gazillion people in this massive pit. But I was just like, I just want to be down there. It's his first time in this big, massive place. And it was very cool to get down there and still feel like you were in that smaller arena. Like it didn't, at least to me, it didn't feel like until I looked around and was actually taking in what was going on around us, it didn't feel like I was in a massive stadium. It still felt like I was in that same size place.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was fortunate.
Hot and well, you're always hot and miserable.
I remember actually saying during the show, I think it was before he had the American flag around him. But I remember him being right next to me, and excuse my language, but I was like, "Fuck yeah!" And he turned around immediately.
He did.
And stuck his hand out and was like, "Hell yeah!" And I was shocked that he heard me and put his hand out and
recognized where it was coming from. It wasn't just like somebody just.
It was he had his hand out for a second or two and I was like, "Oh hell yeah!" So that he has more interaction with the crowd than anybody else I've ever been to.
I wish he was wearing a Fitbit on stage in Nissan. I'm sure the way he worked that stage, he had to put in some steps that night.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I can't even imagine. It had to be, you think about like when Anthony would post his numbers for how many steps it was and all of that. Oh, gosh. That was a rough day. Rock the South. Sorry. Eric had to put in at least that many steps, if not more, that night because he was back and forth across that stage nonstop all night in Nashville.
Oh, it was. I was just getting worn out watching him. I was like, dude, slow down. I'm like, you're all over the place. And then when he cut across the two, I was like, all right, that's dangerous. But didn't stop him. He just kept going, and I loved seeing that about him. I just loved to see how he just kept on pushing. And I think the crowd was good. It was a good energy crowd, and some people were just kind of like me. I was sitting up top, just taking it all in, so I was loving it, every minute of it. And
Well,
phenomenal show.
I'm sure Ruth's real happy that she decided to do the pit tickets because she
Oh yeah.
she decided to stay
The night
overnight.
before.
Spend the night at the arena or at the stadium, and I dropped her off, and I was going back to stay at the hotel room, be with the dog, and about 30 minutes after I got back, she texts me and says, "Hey, you're gonna hate that you left," and I was like, "What?" And she was like, Eric just came out and talked to us. And I was like, no shit.
Yeah, he totally thought I was lying. I was like, no, I'm not lying.
I was like, you're full of it. And she was like, no. And so I heard the story and barely missed, being there.
But you gotta admit that, I mean, you were kind of let in on it before in a different sense. You know, where's this picture? So
Yes.
you had a chance where it came around.
Yeah, that was a good night.
Yeah.
So, how cool was that? Did you guys know he was there that night?
Not
No.
until about halfway through
Right.
Jeff's set. And like, first of all, y'all, if you don't have it, Jeff's album is amazing, is so good. I still listen to it. I can't wait for him to do another one. That whole day was just such a cool day. Like, we got lucky enough to be able to hear them when they were doing their sound check and stuff. Then we got inside and we were sitting there and we had great seats for a while they were doing their whole thing. And maybe about halfway through when we noticed that Eric was there, but he was sitting up in the balcony. He was trying to stay, away, giving Jeff his night, which was awesome to see as well. And then it happened.
Yeah. After the show, after it ended, we stuck around, and of course Jeff and the band hung out with us, and we just kept hanging out and looking around, and I looked up and saw Eric, and I banged on my chest, and pointed up at him, and he sort of pointed down at me, and we just sort of waited there,
He's probably
Marshall recognized like Taylor and Sheena and Nina and Jason and
crew was
Chris.
there.
Like, he recognized everybody was there and knew, like, Lori was there, Tony was there, Janet was there. Like, it wasn't a large, literally everybody that's in that picture was there. And Marshall kind of came down and was just kind of like motioned for everybody to just wait around. And then he let everybody come up and it happened. It was a very cool moment. I told Bill afterwards, I said it was the first moment I felt like when we saw him.
It was Eric.
And it was Eric. It wasn't Chief. It wasn't like, it was Eric. Like, literally, he was talking about going to basketball practice with his boys. Like,
or who you guys have been seeing.
Yeah, who have you been listening to? And when you say, like, and I was like, oh, Ashley. And he was like, oh, like, and he was truly just listening and interacting, and it wasn't at all anything that was like planned or staged. Like, you could tell he just genuinely wanted to talk to everybody.
It was
and
20 or 30 minutes.
Yeah, he spent a good time. He took pictures of everybody, as you can see. I mean, the lighting wasn't great, but that's okay. We won't talk about that.
Yeah.
But it was amazing. It's one of my top couple times. That and the night at Nashville when he came out, when you felt like you were really with him and not somebody who's coming to say, hey, before they have to go on stage. And I don't mean that as anything bad against him, because he doesn't ever make you feel like a number or somebody that's passing through. Yeah. But those two times were times that just felt different, where you felt like this is who he is and not just who people think he should be.
Mm-hmm. And we got there so early that we sort of just came in with the band and we sat down at a stool and
I felt horrible because they were doing sound check and I was like, we should not be in here. We need to step outside.
They were setting up. They were setting up, and Jeff was going back and forth between back room and Jeff Hyde was
Mhm.
going between rooms, and I called him one time. I was like, "Hey Jeff," I was like, "You don't mind if we're here, just listening?" He's like, "No," he goes, "I don't mind at all." So we just sort of sat back and kept quiet and enjoyed basically 2 shows that night. So it was awesome.
Yeah, and it was very cool to like. I don't know. I feel kind of bad even saying this because he was so cool to let us sit there with him when he did it. But it was cool to watch because when he did it, the whole Eric Church band was there with him.
Yeah.
It wasn't like him and his band. It
Yeah.
was the whole Eric Church band. Like Cease
Craig.
was there, Joanna was there,
Yeah.
Craig was there, Lee was there. Like everybody was there, and they were the ones that played with him when he did his release.
Yeah.
And it was very cool to kind of like sit in the shadows and watch how they interacted. And all of them really had his back, being that it was his first time. And they would kind of speak up and say, "No, I think we should do this." And they'd kind of settle it into where it sounded the best. And Eric's, Rob, is it Rob? I'm forgetting his name right now. His mic guy that always comes out and checks his microphones for him. Rob?
He looks young.
A young guy with blondish hair. I can't think of his name right now. I feel like it's
short.
Rob, but I don't know
He's
if that's
always
right.
the one coming out checking the mics.
Yeah. We can't see comments. People are saying it right now, but we can't see you or comments, just so you know. And but he was the one that was there making sure that the sound was right.
Yeah.
He was checking all the microphones. He was checking all the sound. Like you could tell that it was a family feeling of
Right.
them. Like they were so proud of him to be at that point. It was very cool to watch and see how much like a family they were.
So if you guys aren't able to see the pictures, or if you guys are listening on our streaming site,
we can see your pictures, but that's all that we can see right now. We can't. Yeah.
We're talking about Eric Church showing up at Jeff Hyde's album release party, and Jeff Hyde used the entire ECB that night. It was a really cool thing that he did, and it's probably like a once in a lifetime opportunity to actually get to see that, because like now you said, now he has a different band if he does playing shows or anything else. So, and it was cool to see you guys. I mean, a good group of people go out there and support him too. I mean, because you guys didn't think Eric was going to be there. No one assumed Eric was going to be there.
No. I mean, we came all the way from Raleigh just to see Jeff do it, because we were like, and of course we had known like ahead of time some of the songs, and we're like, yeah, it'll be cool. Like, let's go support him. He's trying to do his thing, let's go do it and see how it goes. We could spend time with good friends. We knew we'd be with like Chris and Sheena, and everybody would just kind of hang out and have a good time. So it ended up being such a great weekend.
It was. Yeah.
I think, is that the same weekend we went to Listening Room and saw Eric Dillon? I think that's the same weekend we went to Listening Room and saw Eric Dillon.
Eric Dillon, Channing Wilson, and Rob Snyder.
Snyder, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that was a heck of a show too. Oh, I lost you guys. I lost them. They'll come back, I promise you. I think I clicked the wrong button and they were gone. We'll have them come back. Give us 1 minute. But yeah, if you guys are just tuning in, we were just wrapping up talking about them. They went to the album release party. Here they are. Sorry, guys. There you guys come.
We're counting down. Hold on. Okay.
Sorry.
I think I clicked the wrong thing when I was clicking clearing pictures.
We thought it was us.
Yeah, did I say the wrong thing?
User error.
No, you're good. So yeah, but that looked like a great time. I mean, especially going out there, not knowing he was there to support Jeff. I mean, Jeff's wrote a ton of songs for Eric and for different people. I know for Kip Moore, he had a song. I don't know who else he's had songs with, and a few other people. So it's cool to see Jeff do his own thing. I know he's always itched at it, and I remember he used to have his own MySpace music page. I mean, I don't know if it's still out there or anything else, but if you could find it, there's some really old songs on there. I think there's one called like a Kitchen Table or something. I could be wrong. If there's anybody that's been around for a while and they remember that, but it was his old MySpace music page or whatever was Jeff Hyde one. It was really cool. He had a lot of cool stuff on it, and it's probably gone now, but I wish I could find it one of these days and see if it's out there.
He has such a cool voice. It's not what you would picture with him when you see him. No. And so it kind of catches you off guard the first time. You're like, oh, that's not what I thought you were going to sound like.
Yeah, I agree with CJ. Yeah. I agree with CJ with saying all three songwriters are awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was a little breezy up there.
I was going through some photos. I saw that one. I was like, I'm just gonna have to throw that up today and just be like, I gotta talk about this.
We're leaning into the wind there. I mean, it was 50, 60 miles an hour.
That Mount Washington one. So my dad always used to before things got bad with my mom, but used to take us on family vacations, and Mount Washington was one of the stops that we had made. And when we got up there, it was how far from where you parked to that sign? Maybe 10 yards? Maybe
20
sort
20
of
yards.
uphill.
Yeah.
But so freaking, to be nice, windy and cold that you could barely walk up there. Like, it took everything I had to get up there to that sign. Like, that picture does not justify how much we were struggling. If I was not holding on to that sign, I would not be in the picture.
At the bottom of the mountain, it was 80 degrees.
Yeah, it's insane how much colder it is up there. Like, my dad kept telling us, like, oh, it's going to be this so much different. And we're like, yeah, okay, whatever. So about halfway up, I'm like, yeah, it's kind of starting to get a little bit cloudy. And then by the time we got to the top, I was like, I don't know if I can walk in this. Like, it was so hard to walk.
I drove up Mount Washington.
Yeah, so that's where that one came from. But that other picture is from actually Jenny Lake at Grand Tetons. And that particular picture was taken on a family vacation also, but 2 years ago.
Yeah,
when Eric did Cheyenne, we went and did the Grand Tetons after. Yeah. And it's like Grand Tetons, Jackson Hole, like, y'all, it's just too gorgeous. If you go, you have to visit. It's amazing. It's like when you go and do these shows, soak up what's around you.
When Jillian and I drove out to the gorge, we were going to try to do Jackson Hole, and we ended up skipping it and went. I forgot where we went instead. We went up skipping Jackson Hole and went more north than we did. So I want to at least get out there and try to do it again.
Yeah, and you really don't want to like do it in a day to do it justice, honestly, because the Tetons and Yellowstone are so connected. If you're going to do one, you need to stay 2 days at least. Yeah. 3 to 4 if you really want to do it, and soak it all in, because like that area is just breathtaking. Totally breathtaking.
And Grand Tetons means Grand Tatas, you know what I mean?
It does look well. The picture on the left definitely looks breathtaking.
Yes, yes.
It was.
So where's Mount Washington at? I'm not familiar with that one. Where's that one at?
New Hampshire? Is it New Hampshire? New Hampshire or Connecticut. I think New Hampshire, if I remember right. It's close to the border, but I think it's New Hampshire.
New England area, right now.
Somebody's probably correcting us on comments, but we can't see that right now. So I think it's New Hampshire, though.
Yeah, yeah.
Scott Lyman, if you're listening, I know you know the answer because you hiked it.
But you can just drive straight up to the summit like that, Bill?
I'm sorry, you could drive. Yeah, you could
close
drive
to it. Like what? 100 feet from that.
Yeah, and it's foggy. It was foggy, so you had to drive real slow, and the cars were in front of you and stuff, and the lights were on. But the last 1,015 feet up, it was pretty much foggy.
Really?
And
I'm trying.
And truthfully, you couldn't even see the parking lot. Remember, I had a hard time even looking to park for the parking lot.
Jeez, I'm trying to talk my wife into going. Well, I'm not talking her into it, but like I just graduated. I just finished school in December with my marketing degree, and I'm graduating. And thank you. I'm graduating in May in Southern New Hampshire University, so I'm trying to get her to let's take a road trip up there. But we might look that mountain up, check that place out.
If you like, cool. If you like covered bridges, some of them are just beautiful up there.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
I gotta check that out then. Yeah, we're gonna look into it and see. It's Mother's Day weekend is the only thing, so we're like, all right, well, do we want to go or not? But I want to go. You only graduate. You only graduate 4 times, right?
Exactly.
So, Bill, we're gonna talk to you for a minute about this little project that you have going on.
Oh yeah.
I saw a couple of people in comments talking about barbecue sauce, so we got to talk about this and what inspired you. to kind of create this. And honestly, I've had it. It's amazing. I got some upstairs, and when it's gone, I'll be refilling for sure. So, your story, man.
I'm at my 5-year cancer-free party, I decided to throw a party and had a local barbecue joint cater it. We bought so much that they gave us some barbecue sauce, and on the way home, I was like, you know what? I was like, I'm gonna try and make some barbecue sauce to have a choice for people instead of having one sauce. And I went by taste, unfortunately. But that night, people were like, God, this is so good. I could almost drink it. And I'm like, really? And so for the next 5 years, I just made it for us, for Ruth and I, and gave it as Christmas gifts, and one of our barbecue joints, I've sort of grown to become friends with the guy, and he is like, you make barbecue sauce? He's like, bring some down. I'll try it out. And I was like, really? And, I just thought he was shooting me the shit. So 6-8 months went by. Christmas came around. It was 2015 Christmas, and I made a good batch. And I was like, I got a ramekin, which is one of those little plastic things. Got a ramekin, put some in it, and took it down to him. And he is like, you made this? And I was like, yeah, I made it. And he was like, it's pretty good. I like it. I was like, you know what? I was like, don't feed me, a line. I was like, I need to know straight up, if it's good or not. And he was like, no, I'm serious. He goes, it reminds me of some Alabama red sauce that I grew up on. And I was like, really? And he's like, yeah. So I sort of started trying to get the recipe down because at that time it was going by taste. So Ruth sat down at the table. I started measuring out stuff and telling her what the measurements were. That way I didn't have to stop and write it down. And
for you.
Yeah, short-term memory.
The joys of being the wife.
So she stayed there and wrote it down as I was adding and tasting ingredients and got it down to where it was a decent recipe and started making it and took it down to him for 6 months and he liked it. So I started doing the background stuff and took it to NC State to the food place, and that's how it got started. So in July 2016, it was bottled for the first time.
Wow. So now, how many stores are you in right now with it?
I'm in about 20 stores.
Nice.
Seven of them are grocery stores. I'm in a meat market, and then I recently got into a barbecue provision company in Smithfield, and they've been really moving my product, which has been nice. So it's starting to come around. I wish I had more time to put into it. We've had a lot of family issues the last several months. So it's really actually the last year and a half. But
things are looking on the up and up though, or things are looking better.
Hopefully, yeah. We're
stabilizing at least for a while.
Stabilizing and keeping the hope up and positive vibes and.
You got a lot of positive vibes and a lot of prayers from a lot of people. So I mean, the choir's more of a family than it is anything else. So
oh yeah,
we're all pulling. So we're all together.
Choir's
look, it's always Florida. So have you ever thought about shipping the sauce at all? I mean, or setting up where you can ship, like for online orders?
Yeah. I tried to do that with
And you are set up
FedEx.
that way.
Well, I tried to do
Start by saying
I tried
that
to
you
do it
are.
myself, and because I'm such a small time business owner, FedEx wouldn't give me a decent price to ship. So I've partnered with a company out of New Bern, North Carolina, and they are connected to my Facebook page. If you click on shop, you click on there, you order it. They have the best shipping price I could give you. It's going to be $3 or $4 cheaper than what I could offer, but they handle my shipping on that side. And Barbecue Provision Company probably does it too. But if you go to the Facebook page, Sweet Willie's LLC, and you'll see a picture of my dog, Rascal.
He's sleeping.
He's sleeping right
now.
below us. So,
No.
but yeah, go on there and click shop, and that will get it for you.
I put the link in the comments too, so if you guys are in there, you guys can click the link and go check out Sweet Willie's barbecue sauce. I'm telling you, I stand by it. Johnson stand by. I mean, you saw in the comments everybody talking about it. It's some good stuff, y'all. You got to check it out. I don't think the green's on here. I just sent Jenny Green some a while back. So
ooh, yeah.
I sent her.
Thank you.
Don't put it on your finger; it'll come back looking like that. I swear.
I heard that
Oh my
slap.
gosh. Jesus.
I definitely heard that slap all the way over here. So.
Sorry. It's what happens when you're together for 20 plus years.
Well, you guys are married. You're coming up on your 15th wedding anniversary this year?
Not this year, but I think next year. Hold on.
Next year?
I don't know. This past 6 months have been a whirlwind. I need to think about it. Not this year, but next year. 21. 21
Okay.
is 15.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was looking at pictures today, and I thought
21 is 15. Yeah, 21 is 15, and then 22 is his 15-year cancer anniversary. So I'm debating which one is more important because the wedding was awesome and I love being with him, but the cancer anniversary is pretty damn important. So
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
so 22 years.
Like how that is. Jeez.
Yeah.
You know I threw some of that on there.
And the sad thing is that we have been together for like
7 years.
No.
Oh.
Almost 10 years by the time that picture was taken.
No.
Yes, sir. We got engaged at 8 years. We were engaged. We were together for 8 years before we got engaged.
That was in
Austin.
Austin.
Then it was like a year and a half. So after that. So.
that was in Austin, Texas at the graffiti wall.
I know. I love that. I missed it because I stayed in line all day.
That was a fun day. We had a good time. That wall was amazing. Like us and Sheena and Chris, we climbed that wall. Like people would give you spray paint. You could do whatever you wanted to spray on there. Like it was such a cool place. They were selling. I guess they're getting ready to tear it down. It might even be gone by now. I don't know. But so there was these quote unquote artists out there that would sell chips of the paint, but they had made them into like bracelets and earrings. And so I got earrings. Did you get an earring? I got a keychain or something. Yeah.
Cool.
But it was a very cool thing because there was different layers to it, and it was so much.
The thickness of this wall was like, I mean, it had to be in the thousands of layers of paint.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It
was cool, and there was a lot of Eric Church stuff there too. So like we saw a few. And then we went the day before the show. And so then like the day after the show, people started going by. And so you kept seeing people posting stuff. And it was very cool to see all the Eric Church spray painting that sort of slowly creeped in to there. I'm sure it's well covered over by now if it's still there. But
I
want to give a shout out to Mandy.
He doesn't know how to say her last name.
Yeah, Javins. She did an awesome
Javins, yes, that's what I said too.
Yeah, she did an awesome job on the shirt and the size. So thank you so much, Randy.
This shirt is awesome. We'll just share that story in a little bit, or part of the story.
Okay, stop.
Bill had his minute to shine. Now here's yours. So what did you graduate for?
Oh Lord, now I'm really going to sound ridiculous. Accounting. It was an associate's degree in accounting. So
she did awesome. She was in the
That's
top of her
way
class.
back in the day, I started college after high
very
school
proud
and
moment.
decided that I needed to take a quote unquote break. And it's very difficult to go back after that. So I'm now back in school. So that was me getting my associate's degree in accounting. Still working towards my bachelor's. I'll be there soon. But that was actually the same weekend of the Greenville, South Carolina show
Yeah.
that you posted those pictures of earlier, because that was my graduation weekend.
So and I was fast enough to get dead center at the Greenville, South Carolina for that night on Holding My Own.
He did good.
She did.
And like
she did
Mitch
a shot.
and Sheena and Taylor, all of them were right to our right, and we're like, keep arm's distance, like making sure we didn't get squished up against the stage.
She did a shot with Eric, and of course I opened one bottle of Jack Daniels for her and handed it to her because she has a hard time sometimes opening the bottles.
Mm-hmm.
And I opened one bottle, handed it to her, and then the other bottle I left unopened for Eric. And I'm like, okay, here. So she hands the bottle that I opened to Eric. And then by the time Eric, in the middle of a concert, I'm, if you've ever been around me, I jump, I, bounce, all that stuff. But I was sweating. I couldn't open the bottle. She handed the open one to him, and I couldn't open the bottle. And I was sitting there trying to open it, and then handed it back to her. And Eric was like, "Can you open it?
You got it.
You got it." And she puts it in her mouth and opens it. And Eric's like, "That a girl, bite it." And Matthew Hardy got it on video.
Although he was up high that night, but it's a funny video because you can't really see what's going on, but all you hear is like Eric being like, "You got it? You got it?" And then there's this little chuckle, and he's like, "Atta girl, bite it." And he starts chuckling again, and it's funny because you can't see what's happening, but all you can hear is him saying it because he's still got the microphone up, and it's like the funniest video ever. It cracks me up.
And I actually got a picture of him right in front of me, looking at me during that process there, right before that happened.
That was a fun weekend.
And
that was our first weekend.
That was the night we got our cup too. We got a cup.
Oh, there you go. Right, because she bit it.
Probably, actually.
we got the cup before she bit it.
Yeah, actually, it was before as he was handing it down. But still, had I not been holding up the shots, he would not have got the cup. I don't know what Bill's done.
Where did he go find his cup?
Oh gosh, that was Asheville. That was such a fun weekend. It was so cold though. Oh my gosh,
we almost cold weekends. There you go.
That's a close runner-up with Omaha because Omaha was freezing, but Asheville was pretty damn cold too.
That night right there,
that was a fun night in Omaha. That was a great night.
Was one of the best nights I've had.
Weber broke the hot tub.
It was awesome.
And we can't let him not forget that.
Yep.
Here's our cup.
That's the only one I've ever seen that actually had like Holding My Own tour like printed on it. Like I saw little shot cups like that, like the silly right shot glasses. I never saw a little big cup that said the tour name on it before. Those are really cool.
Because he was like, "I wish ours said Chief," and I'm like, "No, I like that ours showed which tour it was." Like it's
as the year,
Chief.
And that's of course the foam stuff, or not the foam, but rubber stuff, silicone. That's it.
Oh, the choir peeps. That's what makes it the best.
Yeah,
it is. Like you can go to concerts and you can go and see the same person 50 gazillion times, but when you go and you get to see your friends and people that you consider family, it makes it so much better. And like Omaha, Kara and Tara, y'all are. I'm gonna say it. Sorry, Aaron. Y'all are fucking amazing. Like we just love y'all. Y'all were the best hostesses ever. Literally ever. I'm not exaggerating.
Such a fun weekend.
Yeah, y'all were amazing. And I don't mean that against anybody that's ever let us stay with them before, but they just went way over the top with the amount of people that they had staying there, and they still made everybody feel totally welcome and not like anybody was a burden.
They had little cards for us on our beds and a letter and all.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
they
was
went
just
over the top.
And then when you come into that, and then you go and you sit down at a bar, and all of these people are around you,
Yeah.
like how can you not have a great weekend? You know. And then you put Eric in the middle of that mix. You can't beat it. You can't.
That was one hell of a bar right there. All of us sitting
Yes.
around, just shooting the shit for a little bit, and that was a fun night. I think Heather ended up showing up later on with Alex and a couple other people and whatnot.
Yeah, this was actually fairly early in the evening.
Yeah, that was before we started drinking, really.
Yeah, that was like at the beginning of everything. Yeah.
Before Weber broke the hot tub.
Yeah, literally,
right.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. And then that one's the gorge. That other one, sorry, I can't see you, so I'm like pointing. That's the gorge because that was the Tony and Janet had it. Yeah.
Tony's big
That's
old
the
flag.
gorge. Yeah, that was the last night at the gorge.
Yeah.
Second night. Yep.
Yeah. Supposedly we were wanting to see the first night and the end of the tour, and so we were at Omaha and the gorge.
Yeah.
But he extended it, so.
But it didn't even matter because it still ended up being amazing.
I mean, all the people.
The gorge was another bucket list. So.
All the
last show was DC, right?
Duet. What was that?
Your last show of the tour was DC then?
Yeah, sadly. Yeah. But you know what?
DC was an awesome venue.
It was a great way to end it. And as much as I hated to see it end, and I was so sad that last night, but that place was so much smaller than all the other places we had seen him throughout like the tour. It literally felt like just the tiniest touch bigger than the joint shows. And like you could tell he was just having fun. It was right after the damn missing out on the Entertainer of the Year bullshit that was going on. And he came out and he was just on fire. Like first night literally was insane.
That's crazy. That is crazy. That's a cool picture though. That's really cool.
Is that second night though? Is that second night? I think that's second night.
I think that is second night. And actually I took a lot of pictures. Anybody that was at DC, I took pictures of the little boy that Eric brought up on stage.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a lot of shots of sort of that view with Eric kneeling down on one knee, sort of talking to the kid, holding the boot up in the air. But it was pretty special. I forwarded those emails to that person, so I hope they enjoy those photos.
That's another cool thing about the choir. Where everybody, I mean, whenever we get good photos of of anything like that, we always are making sure we're reaching out and finding these people, give them to them. I mean, it's really cool the length that people will go to get photos of people. So and try to track them down and everything else. It was the same way, like when it was the couple that I had on the show earlier that did the gender reveal. I had a video. I mean, everybody kind of swarmed in with footage, so it was really cool that everybody was able to have that and capture that. So
yeah, I do love that. And it's always sort of been that way, even back in the day when it wasn't quite as easy to share stuff. It still, people were willing to be like, hey, I've got this. Do you have this? And kind of reach out to each other. And it's a very cool family feeling for sure.
The Anthem in DC, though, was an awesome place. It was right on the water. And there was like 3 hotels right there. There was several places to eat. I mean, it was a really cool little area that, you know, if you are in the pit and you're waiting there all day, you could just hop off and jump to a little side restaurant, you know, little hut that sold pizza. Yeah. The pizza was awesome.
Like, literally, if you're talking about waiting in line all day, the best place was
DC.
Whole tour. Any type of food you can imagine, shopping, beds if you want to sleep, like burgers. It was perfect. Yeah,
I do like that
it was perfect.
A little hut that you could get pizza from.
Yeah, it was a cool way to end the tour. Like, I hated to see it end, but if it was going to end, it was a good note for it to end on for us.
Detroit was kind of like that. They had a couple. Well, Kid Rock's. Well, he doesn't have any more, but Kid Rock's restaurant was pretty much linked to the venue in Detroit. So while we were waiting in line, we kind of took we take shifts. A couple of us would go eat at Kid Rock's and then come back, relieve a couple others. They'd go back. So that was kind of cool to do that in Detroit. But yeah, I mean, that sounds awesome though. Anytime you were eating food and everything, you don't have to Uber Eats food in.
So speaking of Kid Rock, we have one rule that Ruth told me.
Oh gosh.
We have one rule.
Wait, one rule for concerts.
One rule for
if
concerts.
He's going to drink at concerts.
What's the rule, Ruth?
Oh, it might have just ended. The one rule.
Are you still there?
Can you still hear me? Okay. The one rule is he can drink as much as he wants. I don't care. But if you get drunk and pass out, I'm putting you somewhere safe and I'm leaving you when Eric comes on stage. That's his one rule. I will come back and get you after the show is over. But if you get drunk and you're to that extent, I'll put you somewhere safe and come back and get you. That's his rule.
So in Greenville, North Carolina.
Sounds like ECU.
ECU.
ECU, yes. The same concert you were at, or somebody was at that they flew in. Yeah. So I almost missed that concert. I partied hard before the show and drank like a fish. I was drinking tequila like a madman and ended up passing out in the driver's seat of a car for like 2 hours and woke up like 30 minutes before we went in.
And what did I say to you as I handed you the water bottle before we went to get in line? I was like, I gave him the water bottle. He was half dead in the front seat. I was like, we are going to get in line. This is your last warning. We will be inside. Here is your ticket. I stuck it in his pocket. I was good luck. We're gone.
Just like you said, though, it was chaos. I mean, there was nothing organized at that concert.
It was terrible.
It was horrible.
I've only been removed from 2 concerts, and Kid Rock was 3. Kid Rock was 2 of the 3.
Oh gosh.
So I had to think about that. There was 3, and Kid Rock was 2 of the 3 that I've been removed from. So the third one, what was the third one? Oh, Seven Dust. The Seven Dust show, and that was messed up. I was when I was younger. But all right, we're gonna jump. We got a game that I play every week. I gotta get my questions now. We're way over. I don't care. We got 15 minutes left. I got 2 games we're gonna play. One I play every week. It's called Hot Seat. I ask you guys 10 questions. We'll give them both you guys. You guys got 60 seconds to answer them. Everybody runs out of time. We're still gonna ask them anyways. We're just gonna have fun doing it. So why not, right?
Lord help us.
All right, you ready? One Eric Church lyric that stands out to you.
Most days in life don't stand out. But here's to the days that do. And wait, what's the other one? Here's to forever. Because nothing gets better with age. Like old friends, old whiskey, and old songs.
Hell yeah.
My number one.
Who are you, Bill?
Probably She Loves Me Like Jesus Does, or probably a Little Rock in My Country. I mean, nothing meaningful to anybody else, but because I really didn't like country at first, and and the rock that Eric brings to the country part, I really enjoyed, and that's sort of how I got connected with Eric, was the heavier beats. But I'm hooked now.
See, look, you got through one question in 60 seconds, so we're doing good. I just need to throw the 60 seconds out the window.
Right.
So,
sorry.
The second question is, only can listen to one Eric Church album. What album are you guys listening to?
Sinners.
Carolina.
Nice. I like it when we get some Carolinas in there. All right. I normally ask this question: if you could pick one song for Eric to cover that he's never covered before, what would it be? So I'm going to ask the same question, but this one has to include Joanna in it. So if you could pick one song for Eric and Joanna to sing that they've never done before to cover, what song would you be picking?
That's a hard one.
I know Bill probably did his homework for these questions. That's why I had to throw some curveballs in here.
He probably did, knowing him, and he didn't give me any heads up because I'm always asleep by this point. Just so you know, I'm an early bird. That's a tough one. Have they done Islands in the Stream? Because I would totally love to hear them do that one.
I don't think they ever did, but that'd be really cool.
That would be kick-ass. I would like to hear that one.
Bill, you got one?
Yeah, I would say
Anything by Kid Rock?
no. I was thinking something like Bonnie Raitt or something.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah, she could.
I think Bonnie Raitt and John Hyatt did a song. Didn't they do like? I think there's a Bonnie Raitt, John Hyatt version of Crazy Thing Called Love.
Oh,
I bet that would be cool.
that would be very good. Yeah.
Yeah, to hear something like that, that'd be really cool. So
that would be good.
All right, this one's more for Bill, but Ruth, you can answer this one too. What's the worst pit run you've ever had?
I think we both have this. Well, I don't know. It's a toss-up for me between two. Probably the same two for you.
I would say Houston.
Houston.
Or Austin.
I was going to say Austin or the Gorge.
Austin.
I think Gorge was wrong.
Gorge was at least downhill, but
up.
Austin was fucking long. Like, were we ever going to get to the end? It was so long.
Austin's when I tried doing it in flip-flops.
Yeah, Austin was torture.
Austin was long.
And then it was gravel at the end, which made it so much worse.
Well, that's what stunk. I took my flip-flops off and started running. I was doing pretty good.
Gravel.
And I hit the gravel and I lost it.
Then you were done for.
I did see a guy drop a little airplane bottle of Jack out of his boot, and there's a cop's like, "Hey, sir, you dropped something. You might want to come back and get that."
Like, no, I'm good. Hey, ask Bill what he dropped on his Gorge run.
I'm sure somebody was happy to follow me going down to the Gorge pit.
That was for you.
I bet I lost $40 running down through there.
At least you haven't lost the pants yet, so that's always good.
Literally, he got in the pit, and that's what he looked at me and was pissed off about. Was like, damn, I dropped everything on the way down.
It fell right out of my pocket as I was running.
It was the funniest
When you're running for a pit line, it's like a sinking ship, dude. It's like the more stuff on you,
like I'm not stopping to get it.
Oh, you just start losing stuff left and right, man. Just slow down and you're good.
But we did the same. We did the same thing. Go ahead. Sorry.
If you guys had to pick a least favorite Eric Church song, what song would you be picking?
So people are going to hate me, but this is actually an easy one for me. Homeboy.
No, yeah, like I said, there's a lot of people's peace songs.
I don't mind it live, but like prior to live, definitely least favorite for me.
Bill?
Sorry. Don't look at me. It's your pick.
I mean, Homeboy would probably be there. But until I was at a show in July, I didn't really connect to Springsteen. So there for the longest, I really didn't care for Springsteen, which people are probably going to be, what? But I just didn't connect with it, you know. So
the one song that I don't really care for, I think it's going to come back and bite me in a few weeks. So I really can't say what it is, but I'm like, oh, man.
That's not good.
So we'll see what happens, but it'll be fun. It's going to be fun. All right, your favorite travel destination. Yeah, pick anywhere to travel. You're flying out tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. Where are you going?
Wait, like that we've ever been already, or that we want to go, period?
You want to go to like maybe a bucket list item or somewhere you went to that you just would love to go back, but like your favorite place that either you want to travel or you have traveled.
Okay, so I will always hit the drop of the hat no matter what. Go back to Jackson Hole, Grand Tetons, Yellowstone. No questions asked. I'm there. Mm-hmm. I need to take him back to Grand Canyon. He has not seen Grand Canyon, Arches National Park, all of that down in southern Utah, where I grew up in northern Utah. So that's next on my list.
Acadia National Park in Maine, or Holland, Amsterdam. Okay. That would be a place I'd want to go.
Well, that's where Eric needs a place. We have the boys trip.
If he's doing a boys trip and into Amsterdam, just saying. He goes to Amsterdam. I'm going to Ireland.
I'm seeing all these guys are on board for a boys trip to Amsterdam to see church.
It's all right, as long as the girls can have one too.
If we went to Amsterdam, I don't think some of us are coming back.
Yeah, I don't think so either. There would be issues. There would be luggage confiscated on the way home. Not to mention what happened while you were there.
Yeah. Customs might be an issue, that's for sure.
All right, who is your all-time favorite concert that's non-Eric Church?
Matchbox 20.
Nice answer. I'm going to see them in
I love
August.
them. They're so good. They sound even better live than they sound on CD. And I'm dating myself by saying CD. I understand that, but they're so good. I love them.
I don't know. Who's the best concert that I've seen besides Eric? I've seen the most AC/DC. I was.
That was not the question. That was not the question. The best.
I would say AC/DC back when I was a teenager because it was back when Thunderstruck came out, and they actually cracked the ceiling of the Coliseum we were at with the cannons that they had. So they actually closed the Coliseum for a while.
So who is an artist that you like that you hate to admit?
I don't even know. I don't even have anybody that I'd really hate to admit. I have people that I used to listen to and that I used to go see that I would hate to admit, especially based on recent performances that I've seen lately, like Tim McGraw. Sorry.
Yeah,
Die Hard. That used to be me and my girls. We used to go see him every time he came in town back from 95 when I was in college. So when it was when he was in his heyday.
10 years in a row.
Yeah, the good 90s country. And then he started really going downhill. And we haven't seen him for a little while. And his performance at was it the LSU game, the championship or whatever?
I heard it was bad.
Oh my God. I was like, yeah, I'm done. Totally done. Bill?
Oh, what about you, Bill?
I don't know. I like a few of Carrie Underwood's songs, but
okay.
But
she's not bad.
And went to see her this year and was very disappointed.
I've never seen her live, but I've heard it's good, so that stinks, man.
Yeah. Actually, I got a ticket from some choir members that their mom backed out, and
Josh and Alyssa, right?
Yeah,
Josh and Alyssa. I want to make sure I was saying the right names.
They gave me a deal on the ticket, and I was able to go at the last minute and go see them. And we were in the pit area, and she didn't interact with the crowd at all. I was very disappointed. I had a little girl in front of me. I told her to keep holding the record up, and the lady didn't even recognize, didn't even attempt to do anything with her. And I was so disappointed in Carrie for that.
That stinks.
Anyway, go ahead.
We're kind of spoiled in that regard, though.
Yeah, I mean, going from
we do get spoiled way too much. I admit, because
yeah.
So, all right, the last question I have, you guys can both answer together. But if you guys were ever on the Newlywed Game, how do you think you would do?
I don't know.
Given how long we've been together, we would probably ace that shit.
But that's probably the damn next game.
He's setting us up for failure. He's wanting to be like, we've got this shit, and he's like, boom.
I knew that. I was like, yeah, you're setting us up.
So, I told you guys earlier to get note cards. I got 10 questions I'm going to ask, or note card, paper, whatever you guys got. You can't cheat. We're going to see how many.
I gotta give him some paper. Hold on.
Just give me. Oh.
I gotta take paper off.
Oh, okay.
You can't cheat, but we're going to see how many you guys are going to get. So, anytime I have a married couple on the show, which I hope to have some more, or any kind of couple. I mean, it could be two people. Whenever I have them on the show, I'm going to start playing this game. I'm going to see how they do and see how they fare. But you guys are the
super old picture.
You guys,
that's so old. I'm sorry. That's one of the oldest pictures of us.
Yeah.
I love it. It's a good photo. That's why I found it. I'm like, I got connected to this thing. So,
Plug in.
but is this be something fun to do?
Aaron, hold on just a second. Bill needs to plug in his phone or we're about to lose power. Hold on. I don't want to lose you. Hold on 1 sec. As soon as he doesn't connect, we'll drop. Just a sec. If you give me the questions now, I can cheat.
Yeah, right.
He won't know.
We got some good ones. There's 10 of them, and then we'll wrap the show up with this. Right, this last game will be fun.
Yeah. He's coming. Hold on.
Sorry.
Well, I know. You guys were ready to use your laptop earlier, and I do not know why. These shows, they do not like laptops. This program I use, they use laptops for some reason. I don't know why.
Okay.
I'll figure it out. All right, you guys ready? So I'm gonna ask a question, and you guys, in order to get a point, you have to both answer it the same way. But you gotta write it down. All right.
Okay.
So the first question, no cheating. Who takes longer to get ready in the morning?
Wrong.
Oh,
You totally take longer than me.
Whatever.
All right.
Crazy.
One word. How would you describe your spouse's driving?
Seriously? Oh, God. I might misspell this. Yeah, it's totally misspelled. I need a spell check on my paper.
All right, you ready? Let's see what you got.
Can you see? It's supposed to say terrifying, but I can't say yours.
Same as me.
Terrifying.
That's funny. All right.
She drives like
what
me.
movie? All right. Question 3. What movie title would best describe your marriage?
Oh, Lord.
Oh, wow. I mean, damn it. Yeah, I don't even know.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
I'm kidding, by the way, but I don't know what else to put.
Dude, she totally said Porky's. No. Die Hard and Armageddon. That's hilarious.
But Armageddon.
All right. Number 4. Who made the first move?
Oh. This this is the trick question, Aaron. You're gonna say me because I was drunk, but it was him because he wasn't.
We got a point. All
Good
right.
job. Hallelujah. We got one right.
What is a surefire way to get your spouse in the mood?
Are we talking now or back then?
Back then.
Wait, back then? Oh, Jesus. Give me a fifth of vodka. I'm good to go. Hold on.
Go over a little further. What is it? I can't
It's supposed to say back rub.
Oh, okay. Drinks and music. Oh,
Yeah,
all right. That's a good one.
That'll do it.
You're 1 for 5 so far. Okay. This is an easy one. You guys will get this one.
No,
What
we're 2 for
percentage
5. We got Bill right on the previous. Oh no, yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah,
I was wrong.
Yeah, he didn't put drinks and music.
Never mind. Ignore me.
What is a surefire way to put your spouse? Or no, that was the other one. Sorry. What percentage? What percentage of housework would you say your spouse would your spouse say they do?
What?
Of what?
What percentage of housework would your spouse say they do?
You're gonna get in trouble on this question. Just saying. What would
All right,
he
I'll
say?
give you-
I'm gonna
I'll give
answer. This is what he's gonna say.
That's what she does.
I don't know if he can see it.
Oh, look at that. 30% to 90%. That's good. But no, that's okay. That's right. He says you do 90, he does 30. So really, guys, you have to multiply it by 2 anyways, or whatever, 3. So there you go.
Yeah, I empty the dishwasher and I vacuum.
You hear that? You hear that?
I load the dishwasher and
I cook. I cook
Sometimes,
meals.
Not all the time.
I do that too. So I'm the cook. So
He is very
what
helpful.
grooming-
Don't get me wrong. He's very helpful, but still, it's not 90%.
No, I said you do 90%.
Oh yeah, that's more.
Oh, my
accurate.
goodness.
Yes, that's much more accurate.
All right, what grooming product can your spouse not live without?
Oh, jeez. I'm gonna be funny.
Me too.
I'm sure you will. What'd you say?
All right.
That's true, because I will have gray hair if not.
Yep. Oh, it's beard butter. All right. It looks nice and smooth though.
He's
You're
working on it
asking
very
for-
hard.
It's smooth and trim, hopefully. I mean, I shave every day.
All right, these last 3 are the best ones yet. Complete this sentence. A perfect spouse is one who.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, all right. That's a good one. That's a good one.
I don't trust
Don't
you.
look.
I don't trust you.
She wrote a sentence.
Hey, I would say that is probably. I'll give you a point for that because that's true. I mean, that goes hand in hand.
Colors.
I'm giving you a point for that one.
Thank
That
you.
one
We
works.
need the boys.
All right, who led a more wild life before you got together?
Oh Lord, is this really a question? We don't have to write this shit down. It's him.
Not me. I was an angel.
Oh please. Who had their license
So nice, though,
revoked?
don't worry. So
Not
nice.
me.
Ruth is
All right.
definitely the answer on that one.
No, everybody knows that's not true.
Yeah, I was a hellion.
All right, last one before we wrap up. What is the pet name your spouse loves the most?
It's really
Well, that's going to be different for the answers.
Yeah, it'll be a different one. This won't be different. Well, a couple of these were different. This is more for fun. All right. At first, I thought I said body. I was like, what?
No, he wishes.
Baby cakes. Hey, there you go. You guys both said baby. So there's a point. There you go. That was a fun game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We'll be in an argument later, but it was
No,
fun.
we won't.
Well, guys, we ran over, which I figured we would because we had so much to talk about. I have so many photos that never got posted at all.
It's fun.
I probably had like 8 photos, and I think I posted like an eighth of those. If anything, I don't know. But I appreciate you guys hanging out. I'm gonna go ahead and say goodbye to you guys or to everybody here in a minute. Then we're gonna get together in about 10 minutes. We're gonna do an after show because we didn't get to the good story, so we're gonna have to do it on the after show.
And we have to talk about the flag tribute at Bridgestone. Just saying.
Okay, we'll do that too. Yeah, we got to talk about that too. I think I got a couple pictures of that. We'll have to see. So if you guys are on the Patreon, we will post the after show tonight. Ruth, Bill, thank you so much for joining me, and we'll talk very, very soon. Give me like 10, 15 minutes, and we'll get back up.
Okay, sounds good.
Sounds good.
Good
Bye,
night,
y'all.
everybody.
Thanks.
Church
Bye.
Choir, love you.
Man, it was so much fun. I knew having them on the show tonight was just gonna be amazing. It was gonna be a great show. It was gonna be just a lot to talk about tonight. It was just so much there was to talk about. So I talked about earlier. Well, we'll get on this real quick. You have like 6 days left for Patreon for our January giveaway. Tons of great stuff. The Gorge Friday, Saturday night posters, a blue Desperate Man limited edition album. Just some other goodies. Jeremy Spillman's book's in there. The book is awesome. Have you ever read the forward in there by Church? It's pretty cool. Read it because something really cool is mentioned in there. And that made me happy or excited. So, but other than that, I do have a cool announcement to make tonight because I have been teasing the last maybe month or so, the last couple of shows. Can you believe it's already been 22 weeks I've been doing this show? And next week is episode 22 because we took a week off. And I wanted to challenge myself, and I want to start bringing once a month an artist on. It could be a singer, a songwriter, someone from Nashville. It could be somebody with Eric ties, maybe somebody that's not with Eric ties, that's just kind of out there that maybe we met through friends of the choir and that we like them. Maybe somebody that wrote with Eric or just been inspired by him. I want to start bringing an artist once a month and challenging myself for one to talk with them and bring up enough content to keep everybody tuned in. So next week is going to be my first attempt at this. I'm going to interview a really cool guy that you guys got to see at the church choir party earlier this year if you attended, or last year if you guys attended. But I get to actually bring on Mr. Noah Smith. I'm very excited. It's going to be awesome. He has a new single coming out in March. We're going to talk about all of that. We're going to talk about his journey into music, what got him into music, where he's going from here on out. And I'm really excited to have him and have it sit down and talk with him. I will be releasing the other artists very soon who I'll be having. I have a couple more already booked, ready to go. One of them does have an Eric tie. And that's why earlier when I was talking with Ruth and Bill during their questions during Hot Seat, I said, my least favorite Eric song. Yes. So there is an artist tie coming into that one. And we will announce that one later on tomorrow. I think it will be when I start getting the schedule up. So February, March will be up sometime tomorrow. And we're just going to keep rolling. I want to keep challenging myself, and I want to have different artists or singers, songwriters on and talk to them and connect melodies with memories. I mean, this is what Eric wanted us to do. This is what it's all about. And just connect them all together because Noah Smith is a songwriter. So these songs are going to have tons of memories and connections to it that you guys can probably be able to relate to. Same way we all discovered Eric. So you guys might like the guy, you guys might not, but it'd be a good time to put him in front of the choir. And I'm going to have to warn him because, I mean, we do have a logo up there that says beware the church choir. So we are a little feisty at times. So I'll have to warn him. But I am very excited. He was very well received last May of last year at the church choir party. And I can't wait to talk to him and get to know him and introduce him to the church choir. So join me next week when I have Mr. Noah Smith coming on and joining us to kick off our February schedule. And it just gets better from there on out. I promise. Wait till you see what we have. See you guys next week. If you're on Patreon tonight, we're going to have a good
The
story.
Gainin Fast on Memphis podcast with Aaron Shriver celebrates the music and fans of singer-songwriter Eric Church. Join Aaron again next week as he shares inside stories and life adventures with another amazing member of the church choir. And remember, everything you need to know about the world can be learned in the church choir. Thanks for joining in on the fun, and we'll catch you next time on the Gainin Fast on Memphis podcast with Aaron Shriver.